Hello, my name is Lady Calamere. Welcome back to my channel. I am doing my 44th video, yay me. And today's video is going to be on the Japanese goddess Uzume. Now her whole name is Ame-No-Uzume-Mikito. So Uzume means whirling, as in dancing and twirling. She's also called the whirling female of heaven. And also other names to her is the heavenly alarming female. We also have the names the terrible female of heaven, also heaven's forthright female. Now here we have from the cards, you can probably get on eBay or Amazon, is the goddess oracle. That's Amaterasu, sorry. But I have her out for a reason, trust me. So we got Uzume from here. The Goddess Oracle deck and book set. I know this is old and fell apart. We have the Dark Goddess Oracle cards. Again, you can get at the same place. So here we have for laughter and persuasion. So she's a goddess of laughter and happiness and so much more. Excuse me. So her attributes are the fan and the otafuku, which is a type of mask. The otafuku is a mask that resembles Uzume, and you'll see that during the Karuga dances, it's a type of white mask with cherry cheeks and a silly looking eyes and a happy face. That's actually a representation of her. Her husband is Tsuruta Hiko. And Tsuruta Hiko is a giant. He is an extreme giant, scary looking, big nose. He is the god of crossroads, especially the crossroads between heaven and earth, martial arts, good character, and justice. And I'll tell you how she met him. Now, Uzume is becoming more and more important to people of Wicca and Pagan, and she's important to me. She is in the Shinto religion. Now, Shinto deals with shamanism. It has shamanism, and then it has nature religion that deals with the kami, the gods, K-A-M-I, not kamis. The nature spirits, the onis, which is like a type of like demons. I'm not a practitioner of Shinto, but I do worship some of the deities. Now, Uzume is important. She is good for the soul. Laughter itself is good for the body, mind, and soul. You know, sometimes we may laugh at someone when they're yelling at us, so we may laugh something off, or, you know, even when me and my other half were in hospitals, we could be really sick and in the ER. And we're there making the nurses laugh, the doctors laugh. They're like, "Are you sick? Oh yeah, you are pretty sick." Looking at our blood chemistry and everything, and the results, I'm like, "Yeah, you're gonna definitely have to stay." We're not talking about the psych ward. We're talking about being hospitalized because we're sick through some type of infection, but yet we have a good mood, and anytime we're in the hospital, we're told that by the nursing staff that we're pretty much their favorite patient. So, again, laughter makes things go easy. And also, you know how we have a bad time, we're stressed out, something horrible happened, but it was so comical, but we don't see the funniness in it until we really look back. But like maybe we had our boss over, or trying to get like a raise or something, or a better position, and all of a sudden a cat jumps on the table and licks his butt and balls right in front of everything, and we're so upset until we start talking about it, and everyone's laughing at us, right? So that's pretty much, hey, Mew Mew! Like this, every time I'm trying to do this presentation, he has to act up. Because he's a clown cat. That's why I call him Clown Cat. Clown Cat! So, Azumi does deal with, she does deal with that, with clownish behavior, and she does put on a clownish look. So, she's a goddess of morning, as in the morning, you know, beginning of the day, the sunlight in the morning, and her position is in the east. So her festival that she's worshipped is Setsuban. Setsuban is February 4th, and it deals with spring. It deals with life and fertility. And surely things will warm up. And babies and all that stuff. It deals with fertility. Now the Kurogara dance, you'll see that the women will wear the otofuko mask when they're doing a certain dance. They're dressed in white and red, and they have, like I said, that mask. Well, the Kurogara is definitely hers. Now the shaman priestesses of hers are called Miko. She also represented the queen Himiko, the first queen Himiko. Then she came Miko. So if you hear Himiko, Miko, you know that dealt with Uzume. And the people who were Mikos were said to be descendants of Uzume, as the emperors claimed descendants from Amaterasu, the central goddess of Shinto, who she is the sun. She not only represents the sun, she's a goddess, a living goddess. She's also the sun, and the god in Shinto is the moon. So we have a moon god and a sun goddess. So here we have, like I said, Amaterasu. Now, Uzume can be a very silly character, but she's also very beautiful. So the most important story, one of the most important stories is that, okay, Susanoo is the brother of Amaterasu, and he's a war god. He's a storm god. He's a god of the oceans. And him and Amaterasu were getting into different arguments, and she kept winning, and he just threw a fit. One day he just flipped out. He went uncontrollable rage, where he killed one of her horses, which is very sacred to Amaterasu. He destroyed her rice paddies that filed her temple, whole bunch of other stuff, to the point where Amaterasu didn't want to fight him. If she knew that fighting Susanoo would just be war upon war upon war upon war, a never-ending war, she got so upset. She went to the Heavenly Mount Cave. So she went up there and locked herself up. And when she did that, she took the light, the radiance, and the life-giving powers away from the earth. And she left all heavens in darkness. Among the gods were left in darkness. It was getting cold. Fertility ended. It's just pretty much she locked herself up. Wouldn't come out. The gods and goddesses tried to plead it with her, bargaining with her. Some of them were even just like, get out here now. Get out here now. And she's like, no, I'm done. I'm finished. It's over. Okay? So, of course, the gods and goddesses went into crying and they were scared. But Uzume was more like, you guys gotta have faith. So what she did, she made luscious foods. She had luscious foods made for the gods. She brought a big tub of plum wine with her, and she brought it to the feast with the torches, and they were eating, they were drinking, getting drunk. Amaterasu was hearing things, And she was kind of curious, like, how could they be partying and laughing? What really got the attention is once they were good and drunk, she took the plum, that where she had the plum wine, she turned it over on the tub and she jumped on it. She took her komodo and she put it, like, she took like moss and she tied her arms. She took a fan and she was dancing with it. She was dancing and singing and she was being lewd and telling these jokes. And then she exposed her breasts, and they were hanging down pendulous, and she was like throwing them over her shoulder and you know, wiggling them. And then she exposed her vagina and was playing with herself, and she was being, you know, really outrageous. And the gods could not hold in their laugh. They were laughing, laughing, laughing. And while they were doing that, what they had planned was a tree that was decorated, just like a Christmas tree with ornaments and garlanded. And they also had something planned, a mirror with jewels, beautiful mirror. And they put it in front of the cave because Uzume had a plan. She had a plan. And Amaterasu wanted to know what was going on. They said, oh, we're having fun. We're having a party. How can you have a party without me? Oh, because we found a better deity than you. More better than me? Oh, yeah, more beautiful. More glorious. We don't need you anymore. You can stay in that cave. So Amaterasu got, like, what? So she comes out of the cave because she's too curious. And then one of the gods tied a rope around her, quickly grabbed her, and another god blocked off the cave so she could not retreat. And then she looked and saw her own beauty, her own radiance in the mirror. So she came back to the world, and Uzume saved everyone, everything. All life was saved because of Ame-No-Uzume-Mikito's quick thinking and her actions of persuasion. So another important story was that the gods took mercy on Japan because Japan needed help. And Amaterasu commanded that her grandson Ninigi come down to Japan and to teach the Japanese people, to teach them cultivation, civilization, to teach them more from right and wrong, and to bring order out of chaos. But Ninigi tried to get, when he was coming down from heaven, he met this big, fearsome, giant god. He was big and ferocious, looking at a huge nose, and he was just this menacing, dark figure. And he went back to heaven, told the gods what happened. And no matter what, he could not get through. He could not get through to earth from heaven. So the gods were getting upset. But Uzume, she had a plan. She said, I'll go down. And she met this guy, this big, dark figure. And she stood in front of him. She had no weapons, no sword, no knife, nothing. Yet she started dancing and twirling and laughing, being seductive. Then she showed her breast and her vagina. And so he says, why? Who are you and why are you doing this? She says, I'm Uzume. And he says, I'm Sarutiko. And Sarutahiko, sorry. And she said, you're in the way. We're trying to get Ninigi down from heaven to earth to help Japan, to teach the people. And he goes, well, I don't mean any harm. I'm just standing here because I want to be a guide to Ninigi. I want to be his helper, his friend. So Uzume said, well, you need to let him go through. And Sarutahiko was so enamored by this goddess that won him over through her persuasion and her power, that he said, will you marry me? And she said yes. So what could have been a misunderstanding and lead to a war, which was unnecessary, is that sometimes you need to approach a situation in a different way, not just through force. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and dance naked in front of people at all. That's not my message, and that's not the message you're getting here. However, if they would have went to war, they would have had this guide and this friend for Ninigi. Now, Tsuruta and Uzume have children, of course, and those who could trace their lineage became Mikos. Okay, and they were the shamanesses of Uzume, just like the emperor of even today in Japan. And yes, there is still an emperor head there. Like the Queen of England, we have the, But get back to what they're saying. They can trace their line to Amaterasu, the sun goddess. So we see those stories, and those are some of the more famous stories. So other things is that she is the goddess. What we get from this is she's the goddess of dancing. She's the goddess of comedy. She's the goddess of clowns, and she's a goddess of shamanism. She's a great persuader. That's another name of her. I'm sorry, the Great Persuader. I forgot that name. Please forgive me. I don't use notes, and I don't write things in advance. I mentally prepare for these presentations. So, and this is like take 4 of the video because I had to keep retaking it because silly things kept happening. And one quite embarrassing thing, which I'm not going to say. But we have a few guilty parties here. I won't name names. It was kind of funny, but there was no way I was going to put that on YouTube. So, now if you look at different accounts, like you have the Nihongi, and you have the Kojiki, and so you can, one of the accounts is that this happened after with Tsuruta and Ninigi, is that Ame-No-Uzume gathered all the fish in the lakes, in the streams, and in the oceans together, and she asked them to swear an oath of loyalty to the rule of the heavenly descendants. All the fish say, yes, 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 we will. Except for one. One said, hell no, I will not. And this was a sea slug. Uzume! Now, we see a little bit of a darker side to her. Ooh! And she took a knife. She took a knife and literally slit the animal's mouth as punishment for its refusal for loyalty, which is why we see the sea slug's mouth still shaped with a slash through its mouth. Now that's in the Kojiki, so we have different compilations of stories in Shinto. So we have the Nihongi and the Kojiki. So now we see a darker side to her. But for the most part, she's very lighthearted. And she teaches us to be lighthearted in things. She could be used for divination. Oh, yes. She is a goddess of divinations. And the way to connect with her is, of course, laughing, but also lightheartedness. Now, antique things. She's a goddess of things that are old. Not just vintage, but antique. One of the things that you can use in psychic readings and psychic things, and it's used in Strega and Hoodoo, or skeleton keys. Skeleton keys, as we see, can open doors, and be used to look through it, to look at the fairy realm and spirits, and used in charms. And you can wear a skeleton key and bless it to Uzume to help you open the way to your psychic visions and powers to do divinations, whether you're using dowsing rods or pendulum or tarot, whatever have you, reading a crystal ball. Just have this blessing that you bless to Uzume. You make a prayer to her. Make your own prayer. Uzume is quite approachable, by the way. And could be very talkative, too. Very gregarious. Talky, talky, talky. Lappy, lappy, lappy. I got that from Loki. Talky, talky, talky. You know when he said that to Loki? Oh, Owen Wilson. Talky, talky, talky. I'm getting silly. So anyways, you can use that. Or you can use any antique. Maybe an antique table that you would do your readings on. So, or a very old deck of cards. Maybe you have something from the 1970s. Well, it's not quite antique, is it? But you better not say that. I was born 1971, so I'm 50 this year. Anyways, don't call me antique. Anyways, she deals with the old things. Older things. And she can teach you how to work your psychic powers, to tap into it, to tap into mediumship, channeling, reading crystal balls, all that stuff. She can help you open the way. And another thing is, sometimes when negative spirits try to come in and try to come after you, the things that they feed off of is fear, unrighteous anger, and sadness. What do we counter with that? We can laugh at them. We can laugh like, ha 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 ha, really, ha ha ha. So sometimes I do with negative spirits. Really? Oh, you shook something? Oh, I could shake something too. I can shake something too. I can shake it longer than you. Not impressed. Then I say, you should see my ex. Now that's scary. Especially, that's scary looking. That's horrid looking. Have you seen my ex? Trust me, you don't scare me. You're not scary. You're not ugly enough. You know. It's more like a Picasso dog's ass. Picasso picture of a dog's ass. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah. So the song comes to mind with Uzume, how she likes to throw her breasts over her shoulders and wiggle them around and even tie them. This is so bad. Someone's gonna shoot me, I swear. There's gonna get lightning from the sky. Do your boobs hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Does your boobs hang low? So yes. Uzume's not mad. She likes merriment. She even claps her hand like this. She likes to do that. She likes to spin and swirl and twirl. She likes to wave her fan. So we can bring her into our life to bring lightheartedness, to bring energy, merriment, dancing, parties. That's her thing. Drunkenness, revelry, drinking, and having a good time, cheering and dancing. And if you're in Slayer, a mosh pit. So, I had to bring that up. I'm a Slayer fan, so I'm guilty. Yep, me. So, Uzume She does like things that bring joy. What will we put on our altar? So we see that the Mikos, as I said, the Mikos are the shaman, and the first queen. I hope I mentioned this because I had to take 4 takes. This is my 4th take. The Mikos are the priestess, like the priestess shamaness of Uzume, and I think some men now do it. Men do it, but originally it was a women. And Himiko, which was the like queen, first queen, dedicated to Uzume. So we like to have like a red and white altar, plum wine, of course, or any type of fun wine, especially plum wine. You can get plum wine. I love it. It's really good. I used to drink it. I haven't touched alcohol in over a year or so. I just don't have the desire. But I do like, if I was to have a drink or two, I'm not a recovering alcoholic or anything like that. I just decided not to. But plum wine, love it, love it, love it. It is so good. It's sweet. You can get more of a savory, but you can definitely get a sweeter, better. A fan. Sushis and different fruits and vegetables. You can get some Asian, maybe some Japanese cuisine or Japanese foods and fruits, rice and vegetables, and very colorful. You could get some colorful, get some color, like yellow and greens and blues there. I'm starting to belch. Come on. It's not funny. It is funny. As long as it doesn't come out in the other way, right? So anyways, she likes things that are funny and stuff like that, and that like party favors, and the Otofuku mask, if you can get one, or at least a picture one. Get a picture. If you can't get one or can't afford one, print one out. That would make her happy. Sweet things. So if you don't trust yourself around alcohol, get some plum juice. That would be a good substitute for plum wine. So she is a goddess also, not just a spirit of shamanism. So if you know anything about shamanism, Uzume can help you. Uzume can get you into that mode, get you into talking into spirits and everything. She's also a goddess of intoxication. So, not just plum wine. You can get what's that stuff called? Oh, I'm so bad. I used to drink it too. I'll think of it. Oh my God, it's a Japanese alcohol. It's made from rice. I can't remember its name. Oh, damn it, I'm doing brain farts. So it will come to me. So you can get that. She get her alcohol or beers. And also, so like I said, she's a goddess of just food and wine. And there's also a goddess of food. I'll get into her one day. So other things that she is a goddess is also sexuality and sex and fertility. Yeah, she deals with that. Sake! Sake, the alcohol is called sake. I forgot that. You can have warm sake or cold sake, sweet sake, whatever. Doesn't matter. But anyways, about into like sex, flirtation, reproduction, and fertility and enjoyment of life and enjoying things, good times. That's what she is, a goddess of. And we almost had, oh God, she's trying to knock, oh good, Miss Kitty, you're so silly. That was her moving the tripod. So Uzume, we can tap into her by laughing. Just laugh. Think of some fun things when you're doing ritual to her. Just ask her to teach you. Smile, laugh. And she is very approachable, folks. She's very approachable. Nothing to fear with this goddess. Unless you fear a good time. So, oh God, this little girl is just nudging the tripod. I'm holding it. You silly little girl. So what else should I cover about this goddess? Because, what are you doing? You're playing with your twinkle ball. Is that she is also a goddess of persuasion. So if you need to persuade someone, if you need to get something done, you need to get someone to do it or have something done, she's a goddess that can help teach you how to persuade. Whether through a letter or an email or a phone call, whatever. So she can teach you how to get your way without necessarily being violent. You know how one world leader can persuade another world leader? Yeah. Without violence, that's her thing. That's her dig. That's what she does. So yes, she could be very silly looking, but also very funny. And just in case you want to know, Amaterasu, if you want to know about her, her brother is the moon. And like I said, and his name is Tsukiyomi. And her brother is Susanoo. And so called Susanoo wa. Just in case you want to know. So it's Uzume who brings out the light and the life. And she's also in a way a savior in that way, where she saved all beings. So we can look at Uzume as her power of saving things. Not through force, not through bloody sacrifice, but of party and dancing. She didn't have to be nailed to a cross. She didn't have to take a sword. None of that. So you can see why she's quite important. So laugh, be happy, be full of merriment, enjoy life, take time to smell the roses, and connect with this goddess in this way. We can think about other things that we can give to, maybe Uzume some sweet green tea. We can make for her. Give her some bells, some musical instrument, because she deals with music, where she's, and rhythms where she's dancing on the tub and she's with her feet. So we could play some music for her. We can tell her funny jokes. And just have a good time in her name. And there's so much to learn about this wonderful goddess. There's so much to learn. And I think I am going to start winding this down. I know her practices is especially practiced in Okinawa. So you'll find a lot of the practices there. So now the Otofuko mask, like I said, is her mask. I just want to say that it's a very common symbol in Japan, and it brings good luck, happiness, and joy and merriment. It's commonly used in the No theater, NOH. And the dance is said to be very captivating. But anyways, I just want to thank you for watching this video. And if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you didn't, give me a thumbs down. I appreciate you, all my subscribers. And I appreciate all the wonderful comments I have been getting. I'm still new to doing YouTube videos, as this is my 44th video. Thank you so much. And remember, please enjoy life. And please treat each other kindly, treat yourself kindly. And to remember, adopt a kitten or a puppy or an old cat or a dog, or save a cat. Donate to charity, even if it's just a can of food for the homeless or for animals. You know, if it's a 55-cent can of dog food to a dog shelter, you could give it right to, you know, if you go to Petco, just donate a can. And just enjoy life. Thank you for watching, and blessed be.